Hello! Today I'm going to show you how to make a macrame feather or macrame leaf. So you can see here some that I've made earlier. There's some that are made out of cord. This is a macrame cord, or some that are made out of wool. Any wool that you've got lying around is fine. You can make mini ones out of embroidery threads, or that's another little mini one made out of wool. So there's a lot of things that you can use. So I'm just going to run through the things that you need to have at hand before we start. So you need a brush or a comb, any sort of, you can have a dog brush or a hairbrush or just a normal comb, a decent pair of scissors. You might need some tape or masking tape, and you need either a stick or a wooden spoon. If you don't have a stick at hand is fine. Okay, so the first thing you need to do, obviously you need some wool or thread. The first thing you need to do is to cut a piece of wool or cord, whatever you're using, about the length of your arm. So cut that. Then you need to choose your colour. Today I'm going to do it in two colours. This is the one I'm going to show you how to make. I've just chosen how to do it in two colours so that it's really easy for you to see how to do the knotting. So I've cut lots of pieces of wool. They're about 25 centimetres long, but it's not an exact thing. It's roughly 25 centimetres long. And you need a whole pile of them. You need a lot more than this, but that's what I've got for the moment. Okay, I think we're ready to start. Okay, so you've got everything you need to start off. So you've got your length of wool. It's about the length of your arm. That's going to be your middle piece. You've got a stick or a wooden spoon if you want something to tie it onto at the top. And you've got a few bits of wool here, and they're about 25 centimetres long, that are going to make the feathery bits to your feather. So the first thing you need to do is to lay your stick on top of your loop. So you've looped the wool in half. Lay your stick on top at the top end, and get your two ends and poke them through the loop. And then you just pull it down, so now it's firmly attached at the top. Then what you want to do is get your two bits of wool. One goes under, and the other one on the other side goes over. And then you get these two on the left hand side, the two ends, they go up through the loop. And the two ends on the right hand side go down through the loop, and then you just pull them slowly and evenly, and they knot onto the green centerpiece. You can just fiddle around with that till you get a nice knot, and that's basically it. And then you just do it again. So you put the one on the left under, and the one on the right over. And then you put those two ends under and through, and these two ends down and through. And again, just pull really gently, slide it up and pull it again so it's quite tight. And there we go. What you can do once you've got used to doing this on another feather, so I'd carry on doing this for one whole feather, but if you want to, you can alternate the sides. So one time you put it under and the next time you put it over, and you'll see you get a different pattern going on in the middle. But to start off, just do it the other side so that you get the hang of what you're doing. So that one under, that one over, they go through, and those ones go under and through, and then you pull them. You might find that it's easier to, if you've got a bit of masking tape, just to tape down the top and tape down the bottom, not too tight, but just so that to give you a little bit of tension. You might find that easier because it's a little bit fiddly, but you can just play around with that. Okay, and I'm just going to carry on working all the way down till I've got as far down as I want to go. Okay, so I'm just going to put the last few on here. As you can see, I've taped it down at the top and taped it here. It just makes that bit of tension, so it does make it a lot easier. Stops it from moving around, just makes it easier to work with. So I just put the last couple on. So now I'm going to untape this, and You might just want to add a little knot in the green thread here, just to stop them sliding off, but you still have to be a little bit careful, because unless you have a huge knot it still could fall off, but just give it a little bit of extra. There we go. Now the feather is going to kind of fall down like this bit. So what you want to do is first of all roughly cut the shape of the feather you want. Now if you find it difficult to cut a feather shape straight away, what you could do is draw one on paper, a rough outline, cut it out and lay it underneath your the thing that you've made, and then you just cut around it like that. So I'm just going to start, you have to sort of straighten out these bits a little bit, all the fringing. And I'm just going to start cutting to make the feather shape. Decide whether you want it a fat feather or a thin feather, or you might want to make a sort of leaf shape instead. It's up to you. So once you've done that, you're ready to start fluffing it up a bit. So what I will say about this stage is that it does a lot of little bits of fluff and dust come on. So if you would like to, you can wear your face mask, which just stops you breathing that in. So what you need is any sort of hairbrush or dog or cat brush or comb or anything like that you've got to start fluffing it up. Now the really important thing to remember when you're fluffing it up is to press really hard on the knots in the middle, because otherwise these strands could pull out or they could slide off. So just be really careful, because it is really annoying when they start to slide off. And you just work it out like that. You'll see some of them I've left a bit too long, so I'll have to trim them off later. In fact, those are really long, I might just trim them off now. And just try which works best, which brush works best. You'll find that some are better than others. This stage does take quite a long time, but kind of the more you do, the fluffier it gets and the better it looks. I'm going to give it a go with this one, but you can see all the fluff that's coming off, and it starts sort of flying around in the air a bit. So I'm just fluffing up my feather. You can do it you can keep going if you want it more fluffy, or you can just leave it half fluffed like that. I quite like a little bit of unfluffed bit in the middle. Anyway, so you can see that once you've done that, you probably need to trim a little bit, so I'm just going to trim these just fluffy edges off, just so you've got a bit of definition of your feather. Okay, and obviously when you make your feather, you might choose to do different colours, but you could just do one colour, which in that case you wouldn't see the middle bit really. But anyway, that's the finished feather. You could also, if you slide it off the stick, you can add beads onto the stalk bit, or you could add those beforehand, it's up to you. And then it's ready to hang. You can make it into a little, if you made small ones, you can make it into a bag charm or a key ring, or you could make big ones and put them on a few on a stick hanging on your wall. It's up to you what you do with it. Okay, thanks for watching.